thank you all for joining me this month for this month's energy forecast. We are in August. Oh my gosh. I feel like just a week ago it was January. This year is like literally flying by. Oh my gosh, time is just getting away from me. I am so excited to delve into this month's downloads and energy forecasts. I hope you guys enjoy last month in July. Gosh, I enjoyed July. July was my vacation month, honey. So, I was just relaxing and enjoying my time. And so I am really excited to delve into this month's downloads. It's really juicy. This month feels a lot more serene in a way. But before we dive into the forecast, I want you guys to take a deep breath, quiet the mind, quiet the spirit, quiet the heart. We're going to first tune into the container, delve into the portal. We're going to go over my divine downloads for the month of August and then go over our divination for the energy forecasts. So if you are ready, tune in and I will see you inside. Okay, so for August, the continuous messages that I was getting was reclamation of the crown. And so there's this constant message that I was getting that was continuing from the month of July, which was there was a noisiness that was happening in July. A lot of people that were fighting over the slide, right? I don't know if we tuned into last month's message, which was in July. Everyone was trying to have their voices heard, but in August, there's this message that's arriving and being sort of birthed up like a flower, which is owning our crown, owning our ability to own the room and bloom in our own timing. And that's through protecting our energy and being able to own our own space. And so there's a previous video that I had created, I think almost 3 years ago, that's called Crown Protection. And that's something that I've actually been utilizing a lot as I was tuning into August energy, a lot of Leo energy, right? Lioness energy. And August energy is really about owning our own inner warrior, whether it's a peaceful warrior, whether it's our inner authority. And a lot about owning our crown is about owning our own space, being able to take up not the room necessarily, but our own space. And so, what we're learning about in this season is how do we own our own space? And that is through developing our own energetic boundaries, being able to set the tone between what is ours and what is the next person. And so in August, we're being asked to tune into our own space and learn about what do we like, what do we don't like, and how do we silence out the additional noises around us. For many of us, that requires developing simple, basic spiritual regimens and developing what others may consider a level of protection around us. Now, for some people, I know I have many teachers. Many, many is subjective, but I have quite a few teachers that don't necessarily believe in protection. The word may not be it may not be palatable to their vocabulary. Some of my teachers believe in protection work, and some of my teachers believe in just having a consecutive cleansing regimen. But it's important that we have a consistent energetic cleansing regimen. And that's how we develop an understanding of what our own energetic field feels like. And so August is asking for us to develop our own crown energy. My beautiful teacher, Miriam Hasna, taught me and taught many of her students about having and running our own crown colors. And running our own crown colors really means just having the ability to run our own authentic energy. And so in August, we're really being called to run our own authentic energy, meaning walking our own authentic path, really leaning into our own authentic energy. Are you really walking the path that feels true to you? Or are you leaning into content that's not really yours? Are you speaking language that really isn't your vocabulary? Are you walking the walk that really isn't your path? And if you aren't, you're gonna feel it this month. And if you are, you really should lean into it this month. And so reclaiming the crown is really about reclaiming your authority, reclaiming your voice that you've always had, and maybe you didn't feel powerful in when you were little, or you didn't feel powerful enough to speak it, or you didn't feel confident enough to speak it. But now, especially during this Leo energy, you have the support, whether it's through nature, whether it's through astrology, whether it's through the planets, or whatever universal belief that you have that supporting you during this time. And so the allies that actually want to include that are really willing to support you during this time is things like hibiscus, yellow yarrow, or golden yarrow, candle work during this time, bouts of silence, taking one day of silence, spiritual bathing during this time, ancestral work, altar tending, grounding work, whether it's physical grounding, going out, putting your feet in the grass, just a lot of tending to your body, roots, eating a lot of roots and getting in your body, moving your body, but really getting in in your body, feeling inside your body and just connecting back into what feels good. So those are my divine downloads. And then the last thing I actually want to give to you all are the crown protection class that I have. And that's something that I actually shared with a good friend of mine, and I will link in this video and in the comments and in the description bar that I want you all to check out. It's a head washing video, and it also teaches you all about crown protection and the importance of protecting your head, because that's a huge theme that we're going to be seeing not just in this month, but in this season as we start to transition into fall. And so let's see what the spirits have to say, because I'm always curious to see what the garden has to say. All right. All right, as we did last month, we'll be utilizing the greenhouse garden board and my bones. I'm still working on finding the right camera to be able to show y'all and not flash y'all. So let's get into what the spirits have to say. Right. Messages do we have to the collective regarding okay. For the month of August, there's a huge emphasis on not leaning into habits that are death by a thousand cuts. There's an old Japanese saying, and actually it's a torture method, trigger warning, that's called death by a thousand cuts. And the death by a thousand cuts is a torture method of slowly killing a person through small means of torture. And so there's small cuts that slowly add up into eventually demise. And so there's a huge emphasis right now on these minute habits that we all collectively have that eventually end up adding up. Whether those habits are these negative thought forms, gossiping, bad eating habits, um, dwelling, um, not waking up in the time frame that we're supposed to be waking up in, not doing what we say we're going to do, not following through, the nots, the have-nots, the will-nots, the do-nots. There's a collective the collective consciousness has a bad habit of not doing what it is that we say we're going to do, and it's been adding up over time that eventually leads us into like a heart failure. It seems like we're on the edge of the image that I'm getting is we're on the edge of a collapse, in our collective body, which is a death by a thousand cuts. And it's starting to add up these minute habits that we keep having, and that it just keeps adding up. We say we're going to do something and we don't do it. We say we're going to show up and we don't. We flake out on these things and we keep doing it. And we're not committed to clarifying um our body. We're not committed to detoxing these habits. We're not committed to the growth that we say we're going to lean in towards, and it's beginning to add up. And so if you're someone that's been saying that they're committed to extending themselves into a new timeline, whether it's a timeline of abundance, whether it's a timeline of a life of luxury, a life of becoming a family-oriented person, a life of love, a life of community, you really have to do the work and lean into it. And if it means that the life you are living now is going to fall apart, you have to let it fall apart. Otherwise, you have to realize that the life that you're leading now that is adding up to a life of debilitation, it's going to be what it is. And so, you know, the image that I get in my mind is almost like a person that has gone to the doctor's office and um, they've been told that they have like heart failure and they're not doing what they need to do in order to take care of their body. And I know a few people, I know of like a few family members actually that are dealing with a lot of health issues. I have a lot of family members from the South, some old Southern men that have some health issues right now. And dealing with Southern men, old OG Southern men from the South that are raised with these bad habits, and they somehow some way have made it this far in life, and now their bodies have broken down in their old age, and their doctors have been telling them, hey, if you don't change these habits, you know, luckily you've made it this far, but I don't know how long this body is going to let you keep riding like this. So if you want to keep playing with your life, by all means, but eventually something has to give. And that's exactly the mirror of the collective body. we have had the opportunity and the privilege and the luck of being able to ride the wave of having bad habits, and somehow, some way, by the grace of God, we've been able to be blessed and privileged through the sacrifices of the people before us to be able to live the lives that we have. But as a body, there's only so much that our bodies can take before something has to give, right? We cannot keep eating these this food, metaphorically, whatever your food is, whether it's the reality TV shows, whether it's the gossip, whether it's the relationship, whether it's whatever habit that you have, you cannot keep consuming it and thinking that nothing is going to give. And so, if you want the life that you so desperately have been praying for right now, that you have been so desperately wanting right now, whether it's the abundance, whether it's relationship, whether it's the kid, whether it's the new job, something has to give. And if you're not going to give it, if you're not going to do the work, then you have to accept that what is going to come with what you're eating, it is what it is, right? Because there's only so much the body can take, whether it's the energetic body and the physical body. And if you don't want that, you have to do the work, and the work isn't going to look pretty. The work is going to take sometimes the detoxing of the body, and it's going to look like starving out the flesh, and it's not going to feel good, and it's going to be uncomfortable, and your mind is going to be playing tricks on you while you're trying to change these habits, and you're gonna have to garner support. You're gonna have to garner outside support. You may have to find community outside of the community that you're used to, and it's gonna suck. It's gonna freaking suck while you're going through those transitions. But if you commit to the work, especially from now until the end of the year, you're gonna be so grateful. But you have to, we're at the tipping point, we're at a threshold now where, are you going to commit to your growth and propel your pain into purpose? Or are you going to commit to what you're used to, commit to your comfort, and just accept the consequences of what comfort comes with? And neither choice is bad. It's just, and it doesn't mean that you need to be judged harshly, but you have to accept whatever choice you make. And now that we're at this threshold point, it's time to make the choice. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot me. All right. All right, y'all. So that was the message for August. I hope you all are doing well, and I will see you all in my next video. So, talk soon.